Lots of people have heard the saying, writing is rewriting, and I completely believe in that. So I am always telling other writers that don't worry about your first draft, worry about the revision. And I have a list of some really quick questions I always recommend a writer ask themselves when he or she finishes a scene. Go back and ask these questions and revise to the answers, and you'll have a stronger scene. You'll have a scene that's a keeper and not a sleeper, and you'll be mending your broken scene. So you finish your scene and you think, it's not quite right. You've got to listen to your gut. And there are some questions to help you figure out just what's wrong with it. The very first question I ask myself is, what does the character want when the scene starts? And how does he or she get it? Or even more importantly, how do they not get it? So it's just really important to understand your character's goal. If the main character of a scene doesn't have a goal in that scene, your reader's going to be a little bit bored. They want to know what he's after. The goal could be to get across the room. The goal could be to stop a murder, but there has to be a goal. I also ask writers to ask themselves, is there a stronger plot point for that scene? Sometimes we will write a long scene and all it really is a transition scene. What did they talk about between getting in the car and going to the restaurant? Skip it. If you can't find a stronger plot point for that scene, like there's an accident in the car on the way, then go right to the restaurant, skip the transition scene, and your reader will go with you. I always ask myself, can I make this scene unforgettable? Now, not every scene is going to be unforgettable, but I always try to have 2 or 3 or 4 scenes in a book that readers put down that book and they remember the shed scene, or they remember the shower scene, or they remember the moment that she told her mother the truth scene. They might not even remember the title of the book, but a certain scene will resonate, and that's the way you get a reader to come back for more. I always ask myself, am I doing the obvious? Am I doing exactly what the reader expects? And is there some way I can surprise them? And usually if I'm surprising myself as a writer, I'm surprising the reader. And often I'm surprising the character too. So you want to just keep things lively that way. Number 5 is, can I show the character's true nature and the true conflict? It's really easy to slip out of character when you're writing a character. You might think you know them in and out, but even your own day can affect how you're writing. So you look at the way you wrote and you say, did I keep that character true to character? Who this person is, am I showing it? And also, am I demonstrating the conflict in every scene? And I don't mean repeating the conflict, I just mean intensifying it. Number 6 is, this is one of my favorites. Can I make this scene ear? I-E-R. I know I write a funny book. Can I make it funnier? Can I make it scarier? Can I make it sexier? Whatever kind of genre, whatever type of book you're writing, look for ways to intensify that genre so that if someone picked up just that scene, they would know exactly what kind of book it is. Number 7, can a scene start later and end earlier? It's always good to get into the action as soon as you can and get out, leave them wanting more. Number 8, how can this scene be more emotional? Writing is about eliciting emotions from a reader. It's not just taking them on a story. It's not just showing them what happens as a character goes from point A to point B. They have to feel something. So I look at the end of every scene and I say, did my reader feel something? Did they want to shed a tear? Did they laugh? Did they sigh? Did they get mad? That's what you want to do with a powerful book. Number 9, do I really need this scene in the book? Ooh, you know what? You'd be surprised how many scenes can be covered with one sentence in the next scene, and you can move into something that's more exciting for the reader. And last, is this scene written in the right point of view for the most emotional impact? Because I write genre fiction, we don't write an omniscient point of view. We write in a character's head. And you want to pick the character who has the most at stake in that scene. Maybe it's not the one who's revealing his big secret. Maybe the one who has the most at stake is the person learning his big secret. You as the writer have to make that decision and choose the point of view that has the most emotional impact. Once you go through those 10 questions and you answer them honestly, I'm pretty sure you can mend your broken scene.